Alright guys, welcome to the final video of the game. Today we'll be going over collision boxes and sound. Let's start by going to core, making a new class, and calling it sound. And it's going to have one method. So public static void play sound, and it's going to take a file path. And we're going to make an audio input stream called audio input stream to equal to audio system dot get audio input stream, and that takes a file. And then here we'll give it our file paths like that. And now we have to import audio input stream, and we have to input file, and then we have to add these throws declarations just like that. Now we're going to make a clip, and we're going to name it clip with a lowercase c, so that equal to audio system dot get clip like that, and then clip dot open, and we're going to open our audio input stream just like that. We're going to import clip, and this throws an exception, so we need to throw it. And then clip dot set microsecond position, we're going to set that to 0, and then clip dot start, and that will play our sound. So that is it for the sound class. Let's start by going to our updater and making a new method, public static, and this method is going to return an array list of updatable. We're going to call it get updatable object, and we're just going to return updatable objects. We need to get this list of updatable objects so we can see what we could be colliding with. And we need to make another method. So public string get ID. This is used to check what we're going to be colliding against. And we need a public renderable get renderable. And then we need to make a default method. So public default updatable is colliding. And the parameters for this are going to be a renderable object, which we'll call this object, and the string called other object ID. And then we're going to make an array list of updatable objects. We're going to set that equal to updater.get updatable object. It should actually be get updatable objects. So let me go rename that just like that. Now I'm going to import array list. Now we're going to loop through all the updatable objects. So for updatable object and objects, if the object.getID matches the ID that we're checking for, we're going to check if it's colliding. But first, we're going to check if it's colliding in the X direction. So if this object.getX is less than object.getRenderable.getX plus object.getRenderable.getWidth, and this object.getX plus this object.getWidth is greater than object.getRenderable.getX. And that is it for checking if we're colliding in the X direction. Now we're going to check if we're colliding in the Y direction. I'm just going to nest another if statement. If this object.getY is less than object.getRenderable.getY plus object.getRenderable.getHeight, and this object.getY plus this object.getHeight is greater than object.getRenderable.getY. Now, if we are colliding, we just need to return the object, and then we'll just return null if we're not colliding with it. So that is it for the colliding method. Now we need to fix all the objects. And implement these methods. Let's go to the timer, add the unimplemented methods, and we're just going to return null here because we don't need to check for collisions on the timer. And also we're going to return null for the string ID because we don't need to check for collisions on the timer. And we're going to go to the background, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Just return null for both of them. And we're going to go to the bullet. Now for the bullet, the ID is going to be bullet like this, and we're just going to return this as the renderable. And then for the enemy spaceship, we will add the unimplemented methods, and we're going to return enemy spaceship just like that. And for renderable, we're just going to return this. And then for the enemy spaceship spawner, we'll add the unimplemented methods and return null for both of them because it doesn't have collision detection on it. And for the spaceship, we'll do the same thing, but we will return the spaceship as the ID, and we'll return this as the renderable. And that is basically it for collision detection. So to check if it's working, I want to be able to see the collision boxes. So let's go ahead and implement that so that we can view our collision boxes, and then we'll check if we're colliding. So let's go to our renderable interface. Now I'm going to make a new method here, public boolean draw collision box. And this is how the object will tell us if it wants us to draw its collision box or not. And so then inside of the draw sprite function, we just say if draw collision box g.draw rect, and all we do is we pass in these coordinates right here, and that'll draw our collision box if this returns true. Now we need to go implement that method on all these objects. So add unimplemented methods, and we're going to return false for everything but the objects that can collide with something. So add the unimplemented methods, turn true for the bullet so that we can see the collision box. Return true for the enemy spaceship. So return true, just like this. And then one more time in the spaceship class. So add the unimplemented methods and then return true here. So now we will actually go into the update function of the spaceship and check if we're colliding. So to do this, we just say updatable colliding object equals is colliding. Pass in this. We're going to pass in the enemy spaceship. And if the colliding object is not null, colliding object not equal to null. If that's true, then we collided. So print line colliding. And now let's run it. As you can see, it does print colliding when we collide with something, and you can see the collision boxes look really good. So now let's actually implement the collisions. Let's go to the spaceship class, and if we're colliding with the enemy spaceship, then we say updater dot remove this, because we want to remove ourselves. We also have to remove ourselves from the renderer, just like that. And then we want to remove the colliding object, which in this case will be the enemy spaceship. I'm just going to copy and paste these two functions and pass in the colliding object. Except for this time, for this object, we have to actually get the renderable. So dot get renderable, because remember, this returns an updatable, and we need to get its renderable interface. So now if I run it, you can see that me and the enemy ship both die if I run into it. And now let's go to the bullet class. And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this code here, and I'm going to paste it inside of its update function. And this should work exactly the same way. So now if I shoot the bullet, you can see that it hits the enemy spaceship and it kills the enemy spaceship. That works really, really good. So now I need to actually add sound. So now we need to actually play the sounds. So inside the bullet class, when we hit the enemy, I'm just going to say sound.play sound. And as you can see, my enemy death sound is right here. So I'm going to pass in enemy death.wave, and we have to add the throws declarations like that. And then you can see that we're going to get this error that it's not compatible with the throws clause and updatable.update. So now we need to copy these exceptions, go to the update function inside of the updater, and throw these exceptions as well, and save that. Now we need to go to our entry class, and now our main function also needs to throw these exceptions. And then also in our updatable interface, this also needs to throw those two exceptions like that. And now you can see those errors go away. So now if I play the game and I shoot an enemy, you can see it makes a little beeping sound when I shoot it, just like that. So now I'm just going to copy and paste this method. I'm going to go to the spaceship class. I'm going to copy and paste it here, and when the enemy hits us, I'm going to play the death sound, just like that. And this obviously needs to throw those exceptions. And then one more sound when we actually shoot. So when we click the space bar, we're going to play one more sound, and it's going to be called shooting.wave. Now you can see that when we shoot and we kill an enemy, these sounds play. It sounds really good. So anyway, that's the end of this whole tutorial series. I'm gonna not draw the collision boxes so you can see the final results. So this is the end result of our game. It looks pretty good. Obviously, it's very simple. And I'm not sure I want to go from here. I'll play the death sound so y'all can hear it. And there's actually one of two ways the channel can go from here. I can either go on to make real applications, or I could make a little tiny framework around J-Swing and keep making these little tiny retro games. Like I could make Pac-Man and stuff like that, which would be pretty cool. But of course, we're never going to be able to get into really big games unless we actually use OpenGL or some 3D API. So anyway, let me know if you have any suggestions in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.